Last night I went to Taco Bell to get some dinner, and I get to the front of the window to take my order, and they tell me that the card reader is down and they're only accepting cash at this time. So I move on to another choice for dinner, and I decide to go to Little Caesars Pizza. And on the way there, I am remembering that time when I was in drive-through at Little Caesars, and a cop rear-ended me. And I was thinking I might as well tell that story because it got a little bit funny. So much like today's meal, I decided to smoke up a little bit before getting some Taco Bell in me. And that is exactly what me and my college roommate did. It was a freshman year of college. And me and my roommate were living in the dorms, and you can't smoke weed in the dorms. You know, they frown upon that very much, very frowned upon. Smoking weed and other sorts of drugs in your dorm room. They don't really care for it. And we lived next to an RA. And fun fact, later on, in a different commentary, but we used to smoke weed in that room every single night. But we lived next to this RA, and we were like, oh, we want to have a Little Cece's. I call this place Little Cece's all the time. A Little Caesars pizza party, and go crazy with the pizza. Get a pizza each, some breadsticks, a bunch of pop, and we're going to have a great evening, a weekend. I think it was Sunday. I remember it being Sunday. It just had that feel about it all day. We're going to watch movies, we're going to eat pizza, and we're going to smoke more weed. Well, I guess actually we're not going to smoke more weed because we can't smoke in the dorm yet. So we're driving, and we're going to smoke a lot of weed on the way. We're going to drive around, we're going to smoke some weed in the car, and then we're going to, end our route at Little Caesars. Now, me and this friend, we're not good joint rollers, so we don't usually have joints or blunts or anything like that, and we had a joint this day. And we had one bowl, and then we brought some more weed in a bag with us. And we took the joint, we smoked the joint on the ride, and then we smoked a bowl, leaving, like the kind of the route that we smoked our joint in, and then the time it took to get from that route to Little Caesars, we smoked another bowl with a little bit of bagged weed. And so we pull up into the Little Caesars, and I imagine my soft top Jeep the smell is just radiating in and out of the soft top. Out of the window whenever we place our order. I'm sure it's very obvious what's happening here. And we're sitting in this line, and all of a sudden, we feel a jolt from behind us. And we move a bit. And my friend is like, did the car die? And I'm like, no, the car's still very much running. And he's like, did you hit something? I'm like, no, I'm 100. I was standing on the brake pedal because I was slightly paranoid that my high ass was gonna let go of the brake, and I was just gonna pop into the car in front of me. I drove a manual Jeep, so if I let go of the brake, or if I let go of the clutch, we would just fly forward and stop at whatever was in front of us. And so I was terrified of running through the car in front of us, not getting our pizza. And so I was like, no, man, that wasn't me. And we look behind us, and there's a car behind us, and they're not moving at all. They're pretending like nothing is happening. You can see them just like looking around. And I'm like, shit, man, we've been rear-ended. And it's just like, no. And we're very pissed about that. No one is getting out of their car yet. And I'm like, well, this piece of shit's not going to do anything unless we get out and make him. So, we get out of the car. He gets out of the car. He's like, oh, sorry about that. Just wasn't paying attention. Foot slipped off the brake. Accidentally bumped into your car. And I'm like, oh, no. I don't need the police here right now. And I look at my car, and there's no damage. My bike rack, I actually had a bike rack in the back of the Jeep, and that had already been beat to shit. And so it was saved the car for sure, saved any damage to the bumper. I looked at it, my car was completely fine, and I was just concerned that I was going to get... I didn't want to be involved in some sort of shady accident at the Little Caesars Pizza. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess let's just start trading information. We don't need to call the police or anything, but let's just start trading information. And so he trades information, and then he's like, my friend's like, get his name. I had never been in a legitimate accident before. The only other accident I'd been in was I had accidentally done something similar to a work truck at a red light, and the guy was like, just get out of here. Your parents are going to be more mad. There will be more punishment enough than anything that you're like damage that you've done to our car. And so we're at this Little Caesars drive-through, and he's getting some information, taking a picture of his license plate and asking for his name and whatnot. At which point he tells me, "Oh, I'm an off-duty police officer." And I think he must have realized what was up right at that point in time. I think he realized that we had just freshly smoked some weed. I think he realized that he stupidly ran into the back of some person's car at a drive-thru, and I think no one wanted to leave this situation with any record of what was happening. And not only that, there was no damage to my car. I think his car, he had put like a scratch, like a line of cracked plastic in his bumper. But it wasn't his police car or anything. It was just a regular Honda Accord. And I was just shitting my pants for the rest of the time, just waiting for my pizza. He actually had bumped into me when I was waiting for them to make me a pizza, and they just said, just sit at the window. And so we were just sitting at the window while this happened. So we were able to get out and look at all this while it happened. And as I'm waiting, after getting back in the car from exchanging information, finding out this guy was a cop, and we're just sitting in the car waiting for the pizza to show up. And we're like, is it worth ditching our money, getting out of here just because we're slightly paranoid? Or should we just wait for our pizza? And so we wait for our pizza. We're freaking out that this cop is going to, like, radio into some police officers himself, or he's going to stand in front of our car or something like that. So we're just concerned and freaking out very high. And we were like, oh, shit, man, we wish we brought some more weed because this is crazy shit happening to us. But that is my story of getting rear-ended by a cop. Let me know if you guys have any similar stories in the comment section below. It was definitely an interesting one for me, and kind of freaky, paranoid, scary. But anyway, thank you guys for watching if you made it this far. Subscribe maybe if you enjoyed, and like if, those are opposites.